Hello Internet and welcome to my deck tech on Vader Savage. This is a really fun deck. I've been trying to make Vader work ever since this Vader was introduced. This is the Flippy Vader, the formerly 21 point Vader, now 19 points, thanks to the balance. And then also I have Savage, who is 11 points. You can flip him into the other side. And Rule of 2, because Rule of 2 is going to be the key to making this deck work. The battlefield I'm going to select for this deck is Deathwatch Hideout, and this is really key as well. If I win the roll, if I claim first or claim early, then I get a resource, and then I can use start of turn 2 to flip Savage. And I do want to flip Savage probably turn 2. Turn 1 if I can, but turn 2 definitely is going to be a key for just making him work. So let's talk about the sequence of order I want to play things. First, in my deck, I might want to get a Mind Extraction. This is going to stop things like Hondo from rolling out Loyalist die, Vader from doing his power action if I'm playing against another Vader, Akbar from adding an X-Wing, anything with a power action that you are not a fan of, Mind Extraction is great for it. And it's really good to have in your deck and be on tap. There, in most cases, I'm not going to want it, but it's there in case I do. Next, there are my hard mulligans for and things I want to help to ramp with. It binds all things. Play an upgrade. Blue upgrade, decreasing its cost by 1. Forbidden Lore. Blue ability, decreasing its cost by 1. Spot a Sith to draw a card. And then I want to have my Merchant Freighters as well. Those are going to be key into helping me not only just flip Savage, but also I want to be able to ramp and get some resources. Rule of 2, turn 1. If I can, I'm going to turn Vader to a resource and rule of 2 that to get 2 resources. That's going to help me a little bit have Neiman in here. Hopefully I'm going to get Neiman turn 1. If I don't roll a resource, then I'm going to turn a die to a resource and then roll to it. If I don't get Neiman, another good card to have is Force Valor, where I can turn die again. One of these options for ramp and then one ability is great to start out with. It helps me get some resources, flip Savage very early. And then I have, for a 0 cost, I'm going to put Forsaken in here. I'm going to hope I get that probably turn 1 or 2 to save on resources, so I don't spend them a lot. Now, as I start to play upgrades, you're going to notice this Savage has a Guardian, and he can deal 2 damage to a character or turn a die to his side, showing a value of 0. So if you do that, you want to start turning your specials so that you can turn Neiman into a special automatically and resolve it, and kind of special chain with Savage. So that is very helpful with Savage, and that's the reason why he's actually in this deck and works really well, other than the math. And it's important to note that it's deal 2 damage to a character or turn a die to his side, showing a value of 0. So it doesn't have to be your die. It can be your opponent's die, and if you just need some soft removal to blank a die instead of removing it, Savage is actually really good for that. Sheehan Mastery is going to be the next thing I want to get out soon. I'll overwrite Neiman if I have to. Just getting that out, and then a special chain with Savage to remove a die showing damage. That is going to be very helpful to me. Next, I'm going to maximize Sheehan by putting in Fluid. So remove a die, deal damage to a character. Ideally, I want to get Fluid after Sheehan so that I can do that extra damage, but they sequence well together. Then I'm going to have some other removal in here. Your powers are weak. It's reroll 3 die. It's kind of like Hidden Motive. It's reroll 3 die, call a symbol. If it rolls the chosen symbol, it's removed. Otherwise, it's blanked. So that is going to be a Haymaker removal. Then also have Treason. It's only a character die, but it's spot a blue character to remove an opponent's character die showing damage. That opponent deals damage to one of their characters, showing the value on that die. So then I'm going to have some big events left to play. And it's going to be Sith Lord, like only play on Vader. But it also has the special of reroll this die instead of removing it, and exhaust it to play an upgrade. Or sorry, exhaust it to use a special on the character or upgrade. So let's say I have Sheehan on Vader. Savage turns this to a special. I can use a special on Sheehan, and then I can re-roll it. So it's actually very helpful. I can squeak out a lot of damage with Sith Lord. So it's great for just bursting if I get that special. Death Field is going to be fantastic damage. It's all indirect sides, but you're going to notice that you can roll it into your pool twice. There are 2, 3, 3, 4 indirect sides, 2 discard sides, and a special which is deal 2 damage to each of an opponent's characters. With Vader's power action, that's deal damage more and counted as melee damage. So you can do 3 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage, or 3 damage. All melee, it's kind of helpful, and it makes this focus in, and it hurts a lot when it hits. Next, we're going to do Force Storm. Just another 4 cost that I placed on there. It's going to have some range sides. It's going to have an indirect side, 2 discard sides. The special is also nice, and I can chain into that with Savage. Place 1 resource on this upgrade, deal damage to a character equal to the number of resources on this upgrade. Reroll that die instead of removing it. And my other Haymaker card that I have at the end, it's going to be No Mercy. Discarding a number of blue cards from your hand. Then resolve one of your die showing damage, increasing its value by 1 for each card you just discarded. So, under a perfect circumstance, if I have a 3 melee with Vader, I discard each of those with No Mercy. That becomes a 7 melee if I have 5 cards in hand. You can use Forbidden Lore late in the game and kind of build up your hand size to make No Mercy more potent. There are a lot of things you can do with No Mercy that just burst a character, kill a character, take them off the board, or just deal a ton of damage. And I recommend No Mercy is going to be key. And the only thing you have in here that's not blue is going to be the Merchant Freighter. So that's going to make No Mercy a little less potent, but if you get those, you want to play them anyway. So you don't want to discard those. Like I said, turn 1, flip Savage if you can. Turn 2, definitely. We're flipping turn 2 regardless. But turn 1 is very nice, it's convenient. And then after that, we just kind of burst out on abilities and go for damage. So if you have any thoughts on this deck, it'd be great to hear them. I know there are a couple of things that you can put in here besides what I have. So I might take out the Force Storm and put in Sith Teachings. It's a 2 cost upgrade, and it says remove a die showing a blank. And then with that, it's deal 1 damage on the special, or deal 2 if you remove the die this turn. Since I'm not playing a ton of removal, I'm not running Sith Teachings, and I feel like the damage is going to be way more helpful than the removal. I had Isolation in this deck beforehand, Force Strain, but I kind of figured that between, after you flip Savage, you have 27 health. If I can't burst down a character by the time I run out of health, then I have bigger problems here. So I'm not doing a ton that way. With the Guardian, I want to make sure to get the base sides and not the modifiers. And, a little bit of removal can go a long way. But I don't feel like I have to have a ton of removal with Neiman, with Force Fowler, with the Sith Lord, with Sheehan. Those upgrades also kind of help me manipulate die a little bit. So this is what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment below with the specs of what you would place with Vader Savage. I know there are different variations of him with weapons and other things. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the table. Thank you.
Are you looking for some cards to finish out your collection? Or maybe a hard sought-after Neiman to finish out your playset? At TopDeckTCG.com, you can find everything you need from the secondary market, from hard-to-find cards to alternate arts. They even have strategy and content from all of the top content creators in the Star Wars Destiny community. Check them out today. And if you use promo code ONTHESENSORS, you'll get 10% off your entire order. Check out TopDeckTCG.com today.